Hello. So I thought I'll do the measurements real quick. So I actually did some measurements already. The reason is I had to destroy the previous thicker film. So I did a measurement and kept the microphone at the same distance, etc. Then changed out the foil to the new foil and did another measurement. So that's a comparison, but everyone will be wondering what is the efficiency, and I will be wondering about that as well. Now I cannot measure the efficiency of the old foil because it's gone, but I can measure the new foil, and then we can make a comparison to the measurement I did earlier with both at the same distance. So I need that. I need a voltage meter, a multimeter. So I have a multimeter. It's a Benning, nothing special, not the cheapest, not the best. It's a one euro. I wish it was €1. 100 euro meter. So it's not the El Cheapo Chinese thing, but it's also not a fluke. That's for sure. It's not a fluke. I'll set it down here. What we want to know is the voltage. It's set to AC. So we're gonna play a 1K sine wave. We set the mic at 1 meter distance, and I bumped it so it's not correct anymore. Okay, that's one thing. Now I'm gonna calibrate Room EQ Wizard, and I'll use a rather cheap ass decibel meter. Well, this is on. We have to change the level to high. If it wants to. This is low. We choose C weighted, and we choose slow. Then we're gonna measure at the tip of the microphone, that is here. It should be in frame. Yeah. I'll put the decibel meter here. I'm gonna play a noise on Room EQ Wizard and see what I got here and fill it in my Room EQ Wizard, and then it should be balanced or calibrated. So I'll choose SPL meter, calibrate, full range signal, and press OK, and we hear some noise. I'll put it in Room EQ Wizard, push finish. Okay. And then we're gonna measure the tweeter and see what it does. So now I'm measuring the tweeter at 2.85 volts. And depending on the impedance, you can calculate the amount of wattage if you want to know. But nowadays people measure speakers at 2.85 volts. No matter what the impedance is. And then see what the SPL is, but I can assure you that it's not very high. It's going to be low. Here we go. Yeah, that's really low. So you can see on the screen it is around, if I even make it like a little bit smoother, because otherwise it's almost impossible to see because it's so low in output. It's like 73 dB output. Yes, it uses only like 4 or 5 tiny magnets. Okay, perfect. But still 73 is like really low. Yeah, I can, like, I'll let you hear a sweep from this panel there. Of course it's much bigger, but the difference is like insane. I wish I had like a typical aluminium version of this kind of tweeter. I looked around but I could not find one, but it should be much louder. So if I just, for fun and giggles, yep, that's louder. Definitely louder. Yeah, it is not all too good. And now we can compare this one to the heavier foil shown here. This is the frequency response of the lightweight foil and the heavyweight foil. And the difference in decibels is 6 dB, even 6.4 dB. So imagine that heavy foil is 74 dB efficient at 2.8 volt, minus 6.4 dB. So that's really completely not useful at all. This foil is a little bit more useful, but still not insanely useful. What you could do is make it push-pull. You will gain 6 dB, you might hit like 80, 81. You can play with the coil design a little bit more. You could use thicker magnets if you're only going for like 1K or 2K and above, and you could gain like another 4 dB, and you might be able to get in the 84 range or something, I guess. But this one there does 87 dB. It's much larger, of course. It uses much more magnets, but it also goes much lower. And that's actually the thing that making these tweeters much longer does. They go lower. Not so much more top end. It doesn't add up anymore. But even top end in this one is much higher than the Captain copper variant. So I'm still not convinced. I like the idea, I like the gold look, I like the ease of ordering something, but by the looks of it, it's not a winner in performance at all. That's my thing. And it might be because of the Captain is way too heavy still. It might be because copper is way too heavy compared to aluminium, which I always said it would be. But I've seen some YouTube videos where someone made a headphone out of this stuff, and it did reaches 20k, so that's nice. But when I thought of it, it's all at the cost of efficiency, that's one. And it does lose out on the top end, because normally it has a rising response, and what it does is counter that. So you might have a rather flat response up till 20k, but it still performs different than a lighter membrane with a rising response that you can compensate, but you just have to go big. And then you will end up with a foil that is much lighter, faster, more efficient, and you can go low as well. And it's flat, depending how big you make it, like that one. Or not even like this one, I mean like 3 times or 4 times as high than your golden. At least that's my idea and my opinion. Just my opinion, man. Anyhow, yeah, that's it. Cool to play with. Not a win for me. Still interesting for many other things, but not for a membrane. See you later. Bye bye.